What's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and we have our episode today. We have Michael McGhee with Hog Wild Holding Company. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So it's olive oil, right? So it has nothing to do with hogs. It's olive oil, right?
That's correct. I just picked the name because when I bought the ranch, all these hogs were coming in and destroying all the product, all my trees that I had planted. So that's how I made the gold medal. You believe this or not, I did this 25 years ago. And the trees, because I lived in San Jose and I commuted every weekend, I'd come back and the hogs had dug up all my trees, ate the root. So I've got like 15 versions of trees that I don't remember what they are because they got replaced 3 or 4 times.
Oh no.
So when I make the field blend, the miller charges by the Maaloxer, and the Maaloxer is a thing after it gets ground up and it goes into this thing. It's like making ice cream. It just spins it, and it takes like 40 minutes or something like that. And that separates the oil from the the seed and the skin and all the other plant material. So they don't charge by the pound; they charge by the Maaloxer. So if I fill that Maaloxer with half of a bin, it costs me the same amount if I fill it. So that's why I mixed all these different olives and to fill that Maaloxer, and it comes out to be gold medal.
Interesting.
I didn't have a clue that mixing like a Licino, a Kalamata, Arbequina, and Arbesana, and Kalamata, all these different kinds of olives, because I have just a little bit here, 500 pounds of that, 500 pounds of this, and when they put it into the Maaloxer, and then I got 40 gallons this 2023 season.
Interesting. So, Mike, tell me how you said you came from San Jose.
Yeah.
How did you, is this what you've always done your entire life, as olive oil, or what got you into this?
Well, I worked at IBM for 35 years there in San Jose.
Okay.
I bought the ranch back in 98, and the ranch had this great big huge tree that was planted back in 1896, which I assumed was Mission. I had an expert come out last year and tell me, no, Mike, it's not Mission, it's it's a Kalamata. So I started because that tree, one tree, almost half the size of this room, produced 300 pounds of olives. So I couldn't just let them. So as an engineer from IBM, I designed my own mini press. So I ground up the olives and I put it into a press and, did all the things but I was only getting like 1 pint per 50 pounds of olives. It turns out you're supposed to get a gallon per 50 pounds of olives.
Oh,
so
no.
then because that one tree, so then I went and found the local millers. There's a lot of local millers here, like Ranch 43, Kyler Ridge. Those are local millers here. So after that tree, I started planting down the roadway going to my house, and I plant the trees, come back the following weekend, and the hogs had tore up all the trees, ate the roots. So I replaced those trees 3 or 4 times before I could get rid of the hogs, and that's why I make a blend, because I can't remember what the tree names are. I know they're this one, that one, and this one, like Licino, Mission, and Arbequina, but I can't. When you go to these olive contests, you got to have the name of each olive, or else it's called a blend. And
so this tree from the 1800s set you on this pathway of developing your own olive oil.
Exactly. Being retirement age, from IBM, I was looking for another profession, something. I'm into farming. I farm wheat and barley, hay. I raise cattle. But this one tree, and then since then I planted 4,000 trees. So I'm into it like 6 years of the grove, and the alley has been there for 20 years. So that plus the big tree, and
Well, you brought a video, so let's play your video and check out the ranch, and then we'll dive into some tastings and
Okay.
hear a little bit more how you make these olive oils and your awards and
Okay.
everything, and how that journey has happened and got you to here. So let's play that video.
Well, thank you.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty nice.
No, thank you. Yeah.
And so you were saying, so you're all organic.
All organic. I'm not certified organic because I'm too small, basically, to add that additional price or cost onto my bottles. So anybody that's ever tasted my oil know me. Plus, I have now the California Olive Oil Council, which is a very difficult organization to join, and it shows that I'm certified California extra virgin olive oil. Like when you go to the grocery store, they usually say on the back of their bottles or somewhere, best buy or best use by. All my bottles will have the actual harvest date, and so you can tell that my olive oil is going to be nice and fresh. It's not like wine. Olive oil starts to go rancid, if you want to call it, after, let's say, 3 years. So
Oh, really?
if it sits on the counter at a grocery store and it has best used by, it's probably been sitting there for 2 years or maybe more.
So, Mike, is there a, because I've always known or heard that on olive oil, the dark bottle, and I see you have, these are all in darker bottles, to prevent the UV or the light to getting to the olive oil for the longevity of it. Is that true?
Oh, yes, awesome, yes. Light and air, those are the two things that kill you. So each one of my bottles, I have an argon gas topper, which is an inert gas. It evacuates all the oxygen, and so that's why on the shelf it will last 3 years. So with that argon gas, it keeps, and once my olives are milled, I store them in 100-liter barrels, topped with argon gas. So no oxygen, theoretically, should ever see my oil.
Wow. And so I know we're jumping around here because the video kind of makes me think about other things, So we were talking about the tree. We're talking about, you kind of, have this property, this tree kind of puts you on this path to this oil. From the time that you saw that tree and you're like, hey, maybe I should make some oil, to the time that now you're starting to produce, what was that time frame?
Well, I've been into it real heavy for 6 years. I started 10 years ago when I retired in 2012.
And so that's when you kind of started going down this pathway of getting into the olive oil industry?
Right. Plus, every season is different. you got weather. Like 3 years ago, it turned 18 degrees out, and I had little ice balls, little ice cubes on the tree.
Now, does that affect you like it does
Yeah.
grapes?
Oh yeah, definitely.
really?
Yeah, it starts to make it ferment right away. As soon as it thaws out, it's starting to ferment. And fermentation is not good on olives. It's good, okay, on grapes, but not on olives. And I'm sure it damages grapes too. The olive oil is also important. Besides the oxygen and sunlight, is temperature. So I built a room, kind of like your studio here. So it's temperature controlled. It never goes much more than 3 degrees over 68 degrees. So it's between 78 and 64 degrees. So
And that's the ideal temperature for olive oil storage?
exactly. That way, it never goes up high or goes down low, because that also degrades your olive oil. That's another reason why on the back of my olives, I also say keep it in a cool, dark place. That way, you don't, sunlight, like I say, is bad. Heat is bad. Some people put it in the refrigerator or leave it in their car overnight and it comes back into a wax. So you don't leave it in your car overnight, or you don't put it in the refrigerator.
So when you see olive oil at the store in a clear bottle, that's junk, right? I mean,
I would say I wouldn't buy it. Same thing in plastic bottles. Even though Costco makes great olive oil, they're in plastic bottles. Now, who wants to buy a whole gallon or half gallon of olive oil and have it go rancid before you finish it, or have it have a plastic taste?
I know, but do you think do you think the olive oil takes on the taste and of the plastic?
I'm not sure, but I won't risk it. I've always used glass, and I've always used argon gas, and always kept it temperature controlled.
That's interesting.
And also, it's all filtered. So a lot of times, if you don't filter, just like wine, you always have to rack it. So with olive oil, if I get it filtered at an organic miller, which is Ranch 43, that way I never have to rack it. That means that gives it more danger, because you get the fermentation, all the particulates that fall in it. Now you got to filter out or siphon out the oil without having any of that other stuff touch the oil. So mine never has that fermentation. So it's good the moment it's milled.
Let me step back to the organic side of it. How come, I mean, and again, I'm sure there's reasons for it, which I don't know if you know or not, but why do you have to pay for it to say organic?
They have an organization here in Monterey County that will go out, instead of going the USDA or certified organic, we have one here in Monterey County, but it costs I don't know, about $300 or $400 for them just to take the paperwork, another $300 or $400 to send somebody out to verify it, another $300 or $400 for it tested, and then that's just for the orchard, which I would do. But then they want $2,000 to verify that when I bottle it, it comes from let's say a certified organic orchard to a certified organic miller. Then it comes to me and they want $2,000 to prove that I'm taking that oil from all the certifications and putting it into a bottle.
And is that like, do you have to do that every single year, or is that just once, you do that once and it's lifetime?
I think it's every year. I'm not sure that every fee has to be the same amount. I'm not sure about that, because as soon as they said $2,000, I said I can't do that.
Because you're just a small producer,
Yeah,
small case
350
producer.
gallons. I'm competing with people that make 5,000 gallons. In this California State Fair that we just got announced that I'm a gold and a silver medal. These guys are 5,000 gallons or more. I'm 350.
So Mike, tell me about that. Tell me about your awards for these olive oils.
Well, I was encouraged because last year here at the Mid-State Fair in Paso Robles, my friend said, you got to enter it. So I entered last year, the same ones, the field blend and the Arbequina. My field blend here was awarded silver, and the Arbequina was awarded bronze. So with that encouragement, here comes the California State Fair, which is like the whole state. There's 197 applicants for the California
And where's that?
State.
The state?
At Cal Expo in Sacramento.
Okay.
So I entered into that, and what's great is it comes out early. So this week I was awarded gold, which I was silver last year, and gold for this and silver. And notice I put a gold cap on it because it's gold medal.
Well, congratulations, man.
Yeah, I mean, out of 197 in my division, I won gold. That to me is like, wow.
That's pretty good because I know, like I was telling you before we started, that I've never really done an olive oil tasting per se, but I've been to like the olive oil fest that Paso, has. I did it the year before, the world shut down, and that was my first exposure to, people drinking olive oil, which I thought was like, I'm like, you guys want me to drink this olive oil? Which I just used it when I did my eggs and stuff.
Right, yeah, olive oil is usually paired with a food. So you would select maybe your different kinds of olive oil based on what food you're going to take. But also because of the polyphenols and the good part of the olive oil for your body, every morning I take 2 tablespoons of my olive oil, and then I put in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, top it with a little cayenne pepper. That's before I eat anything.
And what's the purpose of that?
That is
health-wise?
to give you all the health. Well, I lost 30 pounds doing that. Just that alone changed.
Because of the fats, maybe?
Well, the polyphenols and all the goodness of that olive oil, it helps your liver, helps everything in your body to
Kind of
heal.
lubricates the inside, huh?
It lubricates everything. Yeah,
Interesting.
but it really works. I've got so many followers now that do it every day. Sometimes they'll just take the bottle and just start chugging just because they think it tastes so good.
Well, remember when I first met you, we were talking about the olive oil, and you were telling me that, I think I told you that story too, but that people use it for, putting on your skin. I mean, there's other things that people use and apply olive oil to. What are some of those other things?
Well, a lot of people will use it, like my wife, she rubs it all over her skin for making it soft and supple and puts it on her face at night. You can use it externally as well as internally. It's a all-round lubricant that smells good, tastes good. So yeah, you can use it for everything.
So Mike, let me. So we've got Hog Wild. We've got this is, man. How do you pronounce that again?
Arbequina.
Ooh.
That's a Spanish
Good
olive.
thing that wasn't in one of our videos. I'd kill that one.
That one, it's a Spanish olive, and
these aren't like the olives like you would put in your martini. Are these are?
yes,
They
yes,
are.
some of them.
Oh,
Some of
really?
them. That's what the blend is. The Kalamata. You see that in the store all the time. The Kalamata that's been cured in vinegar, and yeah, the Kalamata and the Mission. Those are 2 of the really nice olives that you can use for your martini.
And so you have this whole press system at your house. So you do all this stuff yourself. Do you have workers?
I started out doing that.
Okay.
What I did is now I bring it to a miller, and they mill it and put it into 100-liter barrels, stainless steel barrels. And then I take that, and then I have, like when you're making wine, then I have a bottling system, and so I do all the work from the barrel. That's why the $2,000 for the certification for organic, because I do all the work once it comes to me in the barrel.
So you were mentioning that the hogs came out there, uprooted your olive trees. You're basically your stock.
Right.
So do you hang on to the seed as this generation of tree? You know what I'm saying? In case you need to replant or something? Do you do any of that kind of stuff?
No, I've been told, this is just hearsay, that a seed is like having your own children. Each children will be different, right? Because that seed has got genetic makeup of the mother and the father, right? When it gets pollinated. So each seed will grow a different plant. So the only way we make our trees is we clone them. So what they'll do at the nursery, they'll take a tree that's producing, giving you the quality that you want, and then they'll take a cutting from that and then grow a clone. So when I buy my trees, I buy them, 1,000 at a time.
So you're buying good stock when you're buying a tree.
Right.
This has been some sort. I mean, this is like horse breeds.
Right.
Race
so
horses.
you know what you're getting. This one here has been a great producer. So that great producer and that variety, that's why I have Arbequina, because see, Arbequina is prolific. It will grow olives every year. Now the big olives, like you were talking about for the Martini, they grow every other year. They don't always produce the volume of olives every year. Even though weather like last year, that's why I only got 40 gallons. We had the awful winds and the heat when the pollination was coming. So it blew off all the pollinators on one side of the tree, and then the other side got burnt by the sun. So I went from 40 gallons last year to 350 gallons this year, mainly for the weather.
What's your goal? Do you have, like, as far as like you had 400 or 300 gallons this year? Can you, like, before you're like, okay, this is too much for me to handle? At what point? How many gallons is that?
Well, I have made like you said, a goal, because I'm encouraged with the gold medal. What did I do for that gold medal? I'm going to do the same thing for the Arbequina. See, I harvested right around Veterans Day, which is always November 11th. I'm going to delay I can pick in 2 different times. Like when the bigger olives, they ripen quicker, but I harvested at the same time for the Arbequina, which were a little bit green. So when we go for the tasting, you're going to see the difference between a more mature, medium blend, more mild, but still that nice pungent polyphenol kick, to a more greener taste in the Arbequina. So I'm going to focus my attention, instead of on quantity, I'm going to go for quality, which means I'm going for gold next year. And I will pre-select different areas of my orchard, because I got orchard in the video. You can see it starts out high and it drops down a little bit. So there's 10-degree difference in temperature. Now keep in mind, olives and oil is produced from the olive tree as a protectant for the tree or the seed, so it can propagate, right? So the harsher the environment, which means it's stressed, it produces more oil. It's a protectant, kind of like when you bruise yourself in your body produces something to protect that scab or that sore. That's what olive oil is. That's why it's so good for you. It's a protectant for the olive.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
So that's why the stronger the flavor, or the more flavor it is, or the more oil it produces, the more stress. So this year I'm going to stress the trees a lot more, because my trees now are 6 years old. I don't need to water them every day. I will starve a little bit of water, and I'm not going to give it so much fertilizer. So I'm going to stress the trees just to see if I can produce my Arbequina into a more, let's say, gold medal.
So with all the rain that obviously last year we was pounded.
Right.
This year, we're doing way better than we were, 3 years ago.
Right.
But does the rain help you, or does that hurt you?
It hurts me in a way, only because not only does it help the trees grow, it also helps all the weeds and all the things that are wanting to steal the nutrients from the soil. So, yeah, it's not good for me to have this much rain. Just like in grapes, you don't want to have grapes always, especially when it comes out to bud, for mildew. And
then what about the freeze? Do you have to do like what the vineyards do, like kind of like freeze control?
I don't have freeze control because I'm too small. But like I said, once it got down to 18 degrees, I lost 25% of my crop. It doesn't necessarily hurt the bigger trees; they hurt the little trees. But gophers and deer are more detrimental. I mean, I had 11 deer in my orchard last year. I lost over 300 trees just from deer.
Golly. And there's no way to keep them out, huh?
Well, what we're doing now is we're doing what's called a grow tube. You see it all the time in orchards. It's a cardboard tube that goes around the tree, and then I just put it up about this much higher so the deer can't get inside to eat the tree.
Oh, so it's a big, not the one at the
yeah, the trees are only the when I plant them.
When they're growing, I got you.
And once they get to be full size, then I don't have to worry about the deer as much.
So if it's growing inside the tube, I'm assuming that this tube can be taken off. It's
it basically deteriorates with with water and So it's just a temporary thing until the tree can get above it.
And Mike, does changing your blends or changing your flavors, does that help in the oil industry, or are you going to try to just stay focused on, you know, these particular blends or flavors, and, you know, stay down that path versus like experimenting and that kind of stuff?
I'm definitely experimenting, because what I'm doing, instead of planting trees this big, I'm planting 6-foot tall trees. That way I can experiment with different varieties. Like a lot of people like an Italian oil, which is Licino. There's other, you know, because we're in the Mediterranean zone, here we have the same thing as Italy and Spain, our weather. So there's Italian variety and Spanish variety. That's what my blend basically is. I'm using Italian olives and Spanish olives. So I am going to experiment, but my trees are too small. You know, like I say, that Maloxer is what is restricting me from experimenting with simple different varieties.
We live in the wine region, you know, of California, right?
Right.
And olive oil has quickly came up to an olive oil region, right?
Right.
And so with that competition just in our small little market, I mean, like I said, you've gotten gold, you've gotten silver, you know, in a small, you know, period of time. But there's a lot of big players here in the olive industry. How does that make you feel by, you know, beating some of these big names?
Well, thank you.
You know,
well, I like the competition, you know, mainly because when I go to, like you say, the Paso Olive Oil Festival, there's like, I don't know, 50 vendors out there that are, you know, having people come by and taste their oil. They'll go through everybody, but then they'll come back to mine. That's what makes me feel good. They had a choice to buy any oil in that whole Paso Park, but they'll come back to me because they like my oil, and they like my price. So
that plays a lot of the role into it. I mean, I'd imagine, your personality, and for me, I like to hear the story. I like to hear the story of why, who, and where, why it's made. And obviously, I haven't had a whole lot of olive oil tasting, which I'm excited to get to. But I'm sure there's, those people connoisseurs, that go around, it's like the best of the best. It's kind of like the wine, this, $2,000 bottle of wine versus, $1 chuck,
right.
Type deal. I'm sure in olive oil is the same.
Well, the thing is, everyone has grapes. Everybody. All my neighbors, they don't have, like me, 5 acres. They got thousands of acres. As far as you can see, in every direction, there's grapes. But now you got the government involved. You've got the ABC. You've got whatever it takes, to sell wine.
Why would the ABC be involved with olive oil?
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I went into olives. Because
okay.
I could have grown grapes.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have 160 acres. It's all flat and rolling hills. I could have put in grapes.
Gotcha.
It costs the same amount. It's about $25,000 an acre to plant olives or grapes. So I chose to do olives because I don't have a government. I don't even have to pay tax because it's food. See, if you sell wine, you got somebody collecting this, somebody collecting that.
Oh, smart.
So you got everybody involved in your own business, but because I'm selling food, I don't have to pay any tax. I pay tax when I buy the bottles. I pay tax for everything that I buy to produce the oil. But then when I sell it to you, I don't charge you tax.
Interesting. Well, let's get into some tastings.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Show me your tasting pitch here. I'm super excited.
I always ask first, what is your favorite blend? It's kind of like beer. Usually people know what they like on their beer or they like their wine. So do you have a preference, wine or beer?
Whiskey and vodka.
Okay.
So to be real honest with you, I've just recently started kind of tasting the wines and kind of, not just drinking it just to drink it, but more of a taste to it. So prior to that, it was beer.
So my question always is, are you a Coors Light or are you an 805?
Coors Light, definitely
okay,
Coors Light.
So you like a light beer. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I always start you out with light, and then I go up a little higher
Okay.
from there. And then we can then finish it, because if I let you taste the lemon basil, now, do you like lemon or basil?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
It's fairly strong, the basil. So I'll give you that one at the end, only because it'll be in your throat, and then we're going to have to put some ice cream down it to show
Perfect.
you what.
I'm ready.
That's everybody. What I tell about the ice cream, you take a good vanilla, organic ice cream, you top it with Arbequina, and you take a pinch of salt, your choice. I got Himalayan pink salt or the truffle salt. So you just pinch a tiny bit of salt on it. It's kind of like caramel.
Oh.
It is. After you taste vanilla ice cream with the Arbequina oil on it, it's going to be hard to eat vanilla ice cream again. So let's start out with the mild Arbequina. See, it's a Spanish olive. It's
Okay.
100% pure. So with olive oil, what you want to do is cup it in your hand, because it's best to have it room temperature.
Okay. Oh, for the heat off my hand.
Yeah, just
to warm it up a little bit.
You just heat it up, and then next is you got to smell it, because once you smell it, you're going to say, "Oh, yeah, that's extra virgin olive oil."
You smell that.
So when you go home, open up if you have oil at your
I do.
From the grocery store, do the same test that you're about to do, and I've had people say, "Well, mine smells like gasoline or turpentine." Or, like from Trader Joe's. I'm sorry, I don't mean Trader Joe's, but it was Trader Joe's. And when I first started this, I'd always have the Trader Joe's. People always could pick out what, "Oh, yeah, that's what I buy." So then I do this test. And then I said, "Smell it." And then you're going to say, "Well, that's what extra virgin olive oil smells like." And then what you do is you slurp it. It's polite to do it.
Do that right now?
Yeah, slurp it and let it run down your throat. You got to get his expression. You got to look in the camera and. Starts out a little butter, then it gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah, it starts heating up as it gets to the back, huh?
Yeah, then it gets you right there in the throat.
Yep, it's right there right now.
Yeah, usually I get the expression. I call it the 3 polyphenol cough.
It's on the cuff of doing that.
Yeah. Okay. So
Wow.
now you can try it with a piece of
You know
bread.
what, Mike? I want to point out that this kind of, like, when I'm smelling this smells like I'm out in a field. It's 80s, 90s. It's nice and warm, but you get that smell of the field. This literally smells like I'm in bar. I don't even know what the weeds, the field would be, but this smells like I'm like out in the fields.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I've had it expressed as burnt toast. Sometimes a different kind of smell.
That's beautiful smell. That's a good.
Let's try it again. Now you can dip it with a piece of bread.
Oh, I already drank it all.
No. That's
Now
what's so
more?
good about.
Oh,
Make sure you smell it, because.
I'll do this again.
Yeah.
Warm her up.
Warm it up. And then. Okay, let's go the whole route. Let's go with, because food is why you have olive oil. If it wasn't for food, olive oil wouldn't be as important. So you always eat olive oil that's you can either dip it like that or dip it like that, and then add a little salt. Try it plain, and we got a lot of bread and a lot of different ways to try this.
I'm making a special occasion of eating bread with you here.
Yeah, we're
All right, breaking some bread here.
Well, wait till you try wait till you taste it with vanilla ice cream. Now remember, this is the light one. A lot of people, when you're entertaining, you're just sitting around, you get a baguette, you slice up your baguette, and then you pull out your, organic balsamic vinegar, and then your oils, and then your truffles, sea salt. So, people then just kind of like a little entertaining.
That's good. That's a good stuff. So what do I do here, Mike? I grab some bread.
Grab the bread.
Yeah.
And either dip it in here first and then the oil. And
Is this the oil? The same oil there?
Yeah, same oil.
Okay.
Whatever
So
you
go
want to do.
here.
Yeah.
So it's.
It just gives you a different flavor.
And what is this?
This is an organic balsamic vinegar
Okay.
that you can buy at most stores.
And then I dip it into here.
Yeah. And then add just a pinch of salt since you like salt.
Oh yeah, I love salt. Everybody knows that. Let's try this. Just a pinch of salt. With
There you
right
go.
There. Try that.
So what do you think?
That was good.
So you can see yourself entertaining and also put up maybe a bottle of your wine or Eric's wine. You can have
Oh, my
some of your
goodness.
wine next to that. And
Maybe some freshly cooked tri-tip.
oh yeah,
Oh my gosh, that was like barbecue, like awesome bread. You know, we've all been to barbecues that it tastes junky, and then bread that you just can't get enough of. That's what that tastes like.
well that's great.
Wow, that was delicious.
Okay, now we're going to go to the gold medal winner.
All right, I'm
Now,
excited.
It's going to be just like the Arbequina, but hopefully I'll get a better reaction out of you.
All right.
You know, because when people taste this, make sure you smell it.
All right.
The Miller said, you know, he does 400 different samples of oil. He tasted mine. He said, "You're going to be best of show or gold medal." And he was right.
400 different types.
400 people come
Oh,
in
oh, okay.
and from all over the state because there's.
So this one doesn't seem as bold, like when I'm smelling it.
Exactly. It's total. That's the difference between a more mature olive, because the bigger olives matured sooner than the Arbequina. Arbequina was still in the purple stage. Green, didn't turn dark color, but it was more green purple. You know. You know, like an olive is supposed. You see black olives, right, when you buy it, or you see green olives. You know, when you get them pickled. But this one here is still on the vine or the tree, but it's just turning. You know what I mean? I should have waited 2 more weeks, and then the Arbequina would have been more like the field blend. So the field blend is bigger olives, and they matured sooner.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to try this now. Same way, right?
Yeah.
There it comes. Yeah, you can really feel that. That
But I didn't get a 3 polyphenol cough. Oh,
I don't think it was that first one was
it's green.
oh it was definitely man, that's really interesting because you can really feel it. It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like a butter, and then when it hits to the back of your throat, it almost like it ignites.
Right, that's that polyphenol. The polyphenols is what makes olive oil so good for you. I mean, they always say like wine has, you know, that whatever in red wine that's good for you, but you got to drink a gallon of it.
Right,
You know?
and then you have a hangover and all that stuff.
This one here, all you have to do is have 2 tablespoons.
Oh
and
my
you
gosh,
get-
I'm going to try some of this with that stuff now.
Yeah.
So this here, dip some of that in there,
Yeah.
and then we're going to absorb some of that in there,
I got a lot more if you need.
and then we're definitely putting some of that salt on there.
There you go.
That's where it's at. This is truffle from, would you say Paso Olivo?
I'm pretty sure Paso Olivo there on right next to the park.
Man, Mike, that's delicious.
I'm glad to hear it. So
I mean, that could be just snacks and dessert and dinner all into one.
well, I'm glad to hear that. So now
That was your gold medal.
that was my gold medal.
Wow. All right. What do we got next?
We're going to go into the lemon basil. Like you said, you like lemon and you like basil. Now, it has a kind of a residual in your throat. So once you try it plain, then use bread and then go plain bread. Normally I have green apples. That helps clean your palate. You know, kind of like wasabi when you're eating Japanese food, or ginger. You know, you get the ginger and that helps clean your palate so that it won't get confused with the difference in the varieties.
All right.
Now this is the same silver medal, which is Arbequina, but I had it professionally infused by Olea Farms, and they did the lemon and the basil.
Okay.
So
This is fun.
yeah, well, this one's going to be totally different than the other two.
Really?
This one here is, like I said, if you're going to make, let's say, a whole chicken, you're going to bake a chicken or roast a chicken, or you're going to roast, let's say, a white fish. You know, something that you want to infuse a little bit of extra little flavor instead of adding so many condiments and stuff. You put this on it over the chicken, you know, your baked chicken, and it helps all your seasonings stick to it, but it also adds to the flavor profile.
So this would be your traditional cooking olive oil.
Or salads, or even what
Salad with balsamic vinegar,
yeah,
kind of the mixture.
Yeah, because whatever food you're making, you select a different olive oil. So the balsamic, since we've discovered this, I don't buy salad dressings anymore. All I do is I take oil and vinegar, and that's my salad dressing.
All right, here we go.
Has the same smell?
A lot of basil. You really smell the basil.
Yes, I want to know which one you taste first, lemon or basil.
All right, here we go. Ooh. Wow. That was a weird taste test, because I tasted right when I thought the basil was coming on, the lemon came up right behind it, but I think I tasted the basil first.
Okay. But then you get a little bit of cough in the back.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as Arbequina. You know,
But definitely not as much as that first one. That first one was like, you know, it was there.
Right.
It was. I mean, I was kind of holding that back.
Right.
Because I didn't want to sit here and cough on.
Well, that's what you were supposed to.
Oh, you're supposed to cough?
Yes.
Oh,
but
well, then I did it wrong.
Well, that's okay. But also, it was the first one in your throat, right? Because now you got two other ones down your throat. So if you would have started with this one, which I don't want you to start with, because then you're always going to have that lemon basil taste in your mouth.
I think I liked the Gold Winner.
Oh, yeah. That's
the Gold Winner, like this one here, the first one, that would be good like in a, like, because I do a lot of cooking, you know, and I love cooking. I love cooking with, you know, different spices and seasoning. And that would be good like in the Brussels sprouts, asparagus, you know, kind of that bolder taste. And then, of course, there's definitely the salt. You got to have that salt, the truffle salt. But then your gold, which is this one, right?
this one right here. That's
one
the
right-
lemon basil.
Okay. Which is what we just had.
Right.
Yeah. That one there, like you said, on anything and everything. So what are some of the dishes that you would use that to cook in other than just chicken?
Well, white fish is what I use it in. I use it on salads. I actually use it in which everybody says, well, the flash point is too low on olive oil versus, let's say, an avocado oil or coconut oil. I use it when I make my fried eggs. You know, I like the taste when on my fried eggs. I use, you know, I don't have to have it at 450 degrees on my stove when I cook my fried eggs or my potatoes, you know.
Oh, does that change? Does that affect it at all?
No, you get that nice additional, you know, instead of getting into your, if you like the lemon, you know, getting lemon pepper and put it on some things, you can use that and it gives you the same thing, but you're also getting something good for you.
You know, it's interesting, Mike. I'm sitting here talking to you, and literally, I can still, it's just still going down. I can still feel it.
Which one?
I can feel the lemon. I can taste the lemon.
That's why I started that again. That's why I put it at the end, because then I didn't want to confuse you with the other two. So that's why I say eat a piece of bread, you know, and maybe with balsamic or something to clean your palate. Because now we're going to go to the coup de grace, the thing that everybody thinks I'm crazier than heck. But I was going to pop popcorn. See, popcorn is so good with any one of these oils. You do that with the Himalayan salt. Instead of using butter, you use the olive oil. And man, it makes popcorn so good. But
Really?
yeah, oh, yeah, for popcorn, I quit using butter except for when I'm on my toast.
Does that come in a spray of some sort, or how do you just pour it on popcorn?
Yeah, yeah. See,
Really?
Also at Paso Livo, you can buy these little spouts. You know, they're a lot better than the plastic ones you get from Smart and Final. So you can buy something like this, and it's just so convenient. You know, you pour it.
And I would think that the olive oil would be denser than butter, wouldn't it?
It's the same consistency. If you take ghee, you know, when you take ghee and pour that onto your popcorn, you know, same thing you'd use for your shrimp and your lobster. You use ghee for your butter, right?
Oh yeah, that would be good with shrimp. I cook a lot of shrimp.
Oh yeah, and see what's good about it. It's so easy because it's at room temperature. It's a liquid. You don't have to melt the butter or whatever.
Yeah.
So it goes right on, right? And then you can put your condiments on it. You know, your truffle salt, if that's what you like, or your pepper or cayenne, whatever you like on your shrimp. So now we're going to blow your diet.
All right. Yeah. Well,
I got a
it's a little bit. It's a little bit, but not big deal. I just hit the gym
This
more.
is your organic vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
So take, and we're only gonna use which you like this one. So we're gonna go to the gold medal.
Okay.
And all you need to do is put a little bit. Now put either select your salt. You can use pink Himalayan or what, but don't put too much because you don't want to
Okay.
have it overpowering.
So not like a big old scoop like I was going after.
No, just a tiny bit because you don't want to have just the salt flavor. You want everything. Now everybody thinks I'm crazy.
All right.
You say, why would I want to ruin vanilla ice cream? But I'm telling you, I eat this every night.
So just dig in?
Dig in.
Is that the deal?
Try to get some vanilla and the oil and a little salt. Kind of like a tequila shooter, you know.
Wow. That is amazingly good. That was amazing.
No, I like it. We got the cough, Eric. We got it.
It's there.
We got it.
You can definitely. It kicks you right in the back of the throat.
Exactly.
I mean, right as it goes by, it just gives you a little bit of a mule kick right there.
That's what I've always wanted to record somebody tasting the oil and to get that 3-polyphenol cough.
You're right about the salt. I mean, I like salt. I'm a salt person, and like I said, this salt is amazing. But this salt on your ice cream, and then who'd have thought olive oil on ice cream?
I don't know.
Eric, you got to try this.
I brought enough for you too, Eric.
This is amazing. I mean, okay, Mike. Again, I'm eating bread. I'm eating ice cream. I'm only doing it for you because this is really, really good. And
well, if I can convince you to start taking 2 tablespoons of olive oil before you eat anything, I mean, any kind of diet, it's going to be the best thing for you, especially your morning ritual. You know, it helps grease it right out. I mean, it works good.
gosh, that is just. I mean, who would have thought olive oil was so, healthy and so beneficial and, and so good.
Yeah. As an engineer, I worked on computers. I built hard drives. That's what I did. I ran a large manufacturing operation, and then I'm looking for a career. What am I going to do? I'm only 60 years old, and I what am I going to do? So I tried restaurant business. I was sort of successful in the cattle business and raising hay, but those are seasonal things,
right?
And I failed at the restaurant business because of the drought that we had at Lake San Antonio. Nobody was going to the lake because I'm right there on the drag there going towards.
You got a restaurant out there?
Yeah, Lockwood Diner.
The one on the corner?
Yeah, there's a store and the diner. I had that diner.
Oh, no kidding.
Lost my butt. You know, because
sorry to hear that.
Well, I was running it from San Jose, and I had, you know, hired help. They just ran it into the ground, and so I was looking for a career, and then this here came up, and everybody liked it, and I especially liked it. I toured all up and down California, trying to see how my oil fails compared to theirs. And I said, you know, mine is as good as theirs, if not better. So that's what really encouraged me to keep improving and learning all the things. You learn by failing.
Right. Learn from your mistakes.
I failed by the temperature. That's why I keep saying temperature, argon gas, not having it in a racked properly, because you can ruin anything by not racking it right. Just like wine, you get all that crud in that. So I learned everything you can learn up until I failed this year by producing more oil than I can. Should have focused more on trying to get a better flavor, and I've learned that this year. So next year I'm going to focus in on getting that really nice mild butter, but with a nice kick at the end.
Like I said, I mean, I can taste. I mean, it's basically a substitute for butter.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I can taste the
The
creaminess.
formula is, if you're going to use 1 tablespoon of butter, use 2 tablespoons of oil. So it's like 2 to 1.
So, Mike, you were talking about pricing and all that stuff earlier. What do you sell these bottles for? What do they go for?
Each of the small bottles, they're $15.
That's it?
That's it. But see, the advantage is if you buy 3 bottles, it drops to $13 a bottle. So for $39, you buy 3 bottles. Otherwise, it'd be $45. And then if you buy a case, which I sell wholesale, it goes to $120, which drops it down to $10. And that's why most people buy it by the case, because you know, it has a 3-year shelf life. And at buying it for $10, you can't go to the grocery store and buy one of their olive oils that who knows where it came from. That's another thing. You know, mine came from my ranch, from that video. That's where those olives came from. You buy olives from the grocery store, it could have been Italy, Spain, you know, 15 different ranches, and it could have been, you know, you don't know where.
Produced somewhere else. That's not
you don't
even...
know, have no idea where it was produced or how it was produced or how long it's been sitting on the shelf. So they'll buy it by the case. And then people said, Mike, I'm going through it too fast. Could you make me a larger bottle? So this year, out of requests, I now have a double bottle, and this is 25. So you get 2 of these bottles, which would have normally cost you 30, but you can get a bigger bottle for 25. And the more volume you buy, the cheaper it gets. These people usually they'll buy 10 bottles at a time, which is then drops down to $20 a piece. So for $200, you get 10 bottles.
So all your bottles, all your types come in a big bottle like that?
No,
Just that one?
just because on my field blend, I only got 40 gallons for the whole year. And I'm going to run out, you know, before I run out of the Arbequina. See, the Arbequina, I got 300 gallons. You know, I've never sold more than 40 gallons in a year.
Of this one?
Of any of them.
Oh, really?
All combined. So that's why Arbequina, I'm discounting it a lot more, because I would love to have it sold as and gain new customers and keep the Arbequina and I don't have big bottles for it, but if the demand is high enough, I could do it.
And so how does people find you? How do people buy your olive oil?
Well, I'm on McGheeRanch.com or Hog Wild Holding Company. Both of those will get you directly to my website. And also I'm in the Farmers Exchange all the time in Lockwood. And
Are you like the wine company, like where you have like memberships and stuff like that too?
I have started what's called a loyalty club. And if they sign up for the loyalty club, I've only got like 20 members so far. So it's something I'm developing. I haven't really, this is all new, you know, in selling a difference between 40 gallons which I never had a problem, versus selling 350 gallons. So I'm on uncharted territory.
Does people try to wholesale oil from you to relabel it for them?
I had a person yesterday approached me and said that they'd like to buy it in bulk. They wanted 2 55-gallon barrels or 110 gallons, but they only offered me the price of not even the price of what it took me to harvest. So
You're like, no.
no.
But I think, again, I'd call yourself a fairly new olive oil brand, right?
Yep.
But in a small, short time of 6 years, you've went from learning how the trials and the errors to, winning awards, so I can only see, your production increasing, more than your 40 gallons. Now you're
Right.
going to, 200, 300, 400, 500 gallons.
Right.
I mean, at what point, at what level, when do you get to the point of the gallon produced that you just go, like, you can't do it anymore? You need to bring more people in to help you do this.
Yeah, I have one full-time employee, and my wife and I would do all the rest. And right now I'm in Oak Hill grocery store. I'm at Plato store. I'm at the Pine Canyon store. So those are the 3 stores that I have right now. And I'm hoping I can start with my gold medal winning success. I can go to other novelty shops and places like that over on the coast, Cayucas, Cambria, Morro Bay.
Because that seems like a good footprint, the combination between wine and olive oil, right?
Yeah, the Plato store they don't hardly mark it up. So they are my best customer, really. They're doing really well.
And out of all of them, which one sells the most of?
Believe it or not, it's the lemon basil.
Really? That's your award winner?
I didn't even enter it into a contest because it's infused. I'm wanted to be more of a purist, but adding the lemon
Not
and the
have
basil.
from other places?
Yeah, the lemon and the basil to me is good for food. And there is a area in the state fairs that actually award medals for infused oil. But I don't feel I'm at that stage yet. Maybe in the future I could figure a way to do it.
Do you have any aspiration to make your own balsamic?
That would be a good thing. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, because that way you could sit there and have your own, like I said, your own combination between your own balsamic and your own olive oil, with that combination. So that way you don't have to bring in another company.
Funny you asked. One of my friends that like to help me out when I'm at these events was saying he found a place back in Alabama or something that would sell me in balsamic in the 50-gallon barrels, and then I can bottle it from there and do that, something like that. But I'm still too small right now.
Awesome.
I built, like I said, that temperature-controlled room, so that's where I do all my work. And right now I've got 10 100-liter barrels in there. So I'd have to do a little bit of an expansion to be able to go any bigger.
So Mike, people can catch you this weekend at the Paso Robles Event Center. Am I right?
Yes, at the Estrella Hall, I think it's called.
Okay.
Right there where all the the big room is. Yeah, I'll be there for Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 to 5.
And you're going to be having all your olive oils. You're going to have your tastings. You're going to go through the whole pitch here as you did right now.
Right.
Saturday and Sunday at the California Mid-State Fair, the Paso Robles Event Center.
Yeah, the Paso Robles the Paso Robles Olive Festival is May 11th. So I'll be on the center row, in the middle of the park there at Paso Robles.
And so you're gearing up. This is your season. Your season is starting this weekend, right?
Right, because I milled and processed the oil beginning of December. So here we are in the middle of March. So now everybody is getting their awards, from the state fair. So things are really starting now. The weather's changing, the wind is not so bad, it's not so rainy. So we'll be having a lot more outdoor events. So yeah, it's the beginning of my year.
So they need to look for the pig. Look for the Hog Wild Holding Company.
Right.
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate hearing about your journey. Thank you. Appreciate for you giving me this taste test for the olive oil, and like I said, it's an amazing experience.
Well, thank you.
So,
I was so excited to have this finally recorded, to have somebody's expression on their face, because when I'm serving, it's too hard to, let me take a picture of you, and because it's just my wife and I, we're, you got all these people.
And it seems weird. Hold on, let me take a picture of you,
Yeah, I want to get you before you taste it, and then while you taste it, and then after you taste. Then I got 10 people over here walking away because I'm paying attention too much to one person rather than to everybody.
Yeah, but like I said, I think, the taste of each one done right, like as we did, really, stair steps, the different levels of, your taste buds,
Right.
And how your taste buds also follow that experience of what you're taking them through that journey.
Right.
So it was awesome.
I thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk to your North County, What's Up North County. That's a awesome platform to be here, and I'm honored to be able to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I would love to have you back on. Hopefully, as we get closer to the California Mid-State Fair, I'm sure you're going to be in the competition.
Oh yeah, I'm
there
in there
again.
I have to. I'm already entered. They won't start collecting until April 1st. So, the first week in April, I will have all my olive there, and I think in June they pick it out, or May, somewhere around there.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's in May. Yeah, before May 20th. Around that time, I'll have the results from the Mid-State Fair, and I expect to have gold at the Mid-State.
I expect you to do as well. Awesome, Mike. Thanks for coming in and sharing your story.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure if you guys want to check out these olive oils and taste them for yourself, get down to the Paso Robles Event Center starting this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be there. You're going to not want to miss this. You're going to want to stop by Hog Wild Holding Company and get a taste of these olive oils yourself. You do not want to miss these. But as always, guys, we appreciate you and we appreciate our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Santo Brothers Plumbing, Pacific 805 Spas, Hanson Enterprises, Story Termite and Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, and Airflow Filter Services. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you in Paso at the Paso Robles Event Center.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.